Okay, my beautiful friends, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk to you about non-duality and oneness. And this is a concept that resonates so deeply, I love so much. But never do any of my videos have to resonate with you. This is me talking about the things I've witnessed across the world, cultures, religions, spiritual modalities, and what I feel and resonate with as a psychic and a channeler in these things, okay? And so I kind of want to use this opportunity to do a bit of channeling because I'm not gonna lie to you, I've already tried this video like twice now, like in this moment, and I keep getting stumbling on my words, and I'm realizing that I'm trying to put it too much in the mind when this is a concept of energy, of essence, of feeling. And it's a concept and an energy that can be as simple or as complex as we want to make it, okay? And so the idea of non-duality is oneness. It's that everything ever is all one consciousness, and that one consciousness is God. That's the simple explanation of it. And the way that it really resonates and I really feel it is by literally feeling into it, like looking at a plant, trying to connect with it, trying to feel its energy, feel its sensations, an animal, a person. And this is a gift I've been given in this life, that I chose in this life, is that I can do that. It's like I can connect to mountains and rocks and I can feel that we are one. And that is my perception. Again, it doesn't have to be yours. But also you can try it and see what resonates with you. Do you connect with these things? Can you feel them? The earth, the other planets, the universe, the multi-universe, right? And so the idea is like, if you kind of want to put an image to this, it's like, imagine one being, a God. And it's almost as if everything exists inside of this one God, this one consciousness. And the idea is that this God decided that it wanted to experience itself. It is one, but that it wanted to feel separation, to experience itself. And the point of having experiences is to evolve, is to keep the consciousness growing. The consciousness that is one, but also in our illusion of separateness, all of our individual consciousnesses are growing and evolving constantly, which then comes back to the one's consciousness, right? And so to me, it's like, what a beautiful concept, how freeing. Not only does it feel right in my intuition and do I resonate with it energetically when I connect with other beings, but it literally, to me, means that the purpose of life is just to be. The purpose of life is literally just to experience, just to have experiences, just to feel. What is it like to taste chocolate? What does it feel like to stub my toe? What is it like to make a mistake? What is it like to fall in love? Just to experience these things. That there is no right or wrong, bad or good. That it's all welcome and it's all perfect and it's all a part of the divine plan and the divine evolution of our consciousness. And it kind of falls into like reincarnation, right? Too, like you can have somebody talk about reincarnation and, oh, we die and we're born again, we're dying, we're born again, and our one soul just keeps this cycle going. However, the way I like to look at it is more of like a geometric pattern. Imagine like the flower of life, or like a pattern that has all these crosses and they crisscross, and there's all these points where everything crosses. And so you have all these crisscrosses, and then in that point is like one life, just this life that I'm living right now, where those two crosses go. But then that line has all these other crosses and all these other points that it hits. And so maybe here's my point, and then the points directly closest to it are maybe the other lives that I feel like I'm carrying into this life, that maybe I'm resolving or working on or learning from or building upon, referencing these things. And that's beautiful. But then it's like, maybe I connect to then this life over here, and then that kind of also opens me to connect to more. And it's kind of like this infinite amount of lives that we can connect to and knowledge that we can connect to. But in this one life, where I'm in this one point, I have more access to the ones that are closest around me because I chose to bring those into this life. I chose to be more connected to those. But when you zoom out, it's this huge geometric pattern. And there's all these crosses and they all go together, but it's all just one large geometric pattern. And that's kind of the concept. And it's that, if you could also look at consciousness as an ocean, and this one life could be just, I scoop the cup up, and every molecule that is in that cup could be a different life that I'm bringing, that I am embodying in this one cup, this one life. But when I die, I get poured right back into that ocean, and then I could get scooped up over here. And I've had some people, I talked about analogy with some people, and they're like sad about it. They're like, so I could leave this life and never resonate with it again? I'm like, no, that's not it at all. Like, from the way I see things is that you always you get to choose. Everything's a choice. So once you pass and you die, that cup is still kind of like, it's crossing over, it's reviewing that whole life that it lived as that cup, and it decides, does it want to take some of this cup on, or does it want to start all over in a whole different cup? Usually I think it kind of takes some of it, but again, it's because we're all one. So all of those molecules go back in, and somebody else could scoop up a lot of those molecules and a whole other set of molecules and make a new cup. And then they are birthed, but then they feel like they're that person because we're all one. And it's not that we ever cease to exist. It's that we have every existence ever, that we are everything. And that, again, there is no bad and good. It's like, yes, that gives me like sympathy for everyone. And that's really wonderful. It's like, wow, how wonderful is it, the person that maybe harms me or hurts my feelings, or the person that goes through something really tragic, I can feel that I'm them. I can treat everybody as if I'm them. And that's kind of a deeper conversation. It's like, do you love yourself, or are you, self-harming, in your thoughts or in different expressions? And so how does that manifest? But if we are ideally coming from a place of self-love and we look at everybody as the same as us, it's this incredible feeling of freedom and love, and just how love is oneness and just spreads everywhere. And also then I can witness somebody having an incredible life, and I'm like, yes, get it, like have that incredible life for the collective. Or sometimes I have a really awful time and I'm in a low and I'm going through tough times, and I'm like, that's okay. This is part of it. I am doing this for the collective. I'm having this span of experiences for the collective. So again, the idea that the purpose is just to have experiences. And the idea that shadow is not different than light. It is one. It is just different ends of the spectrum. You have some candles lit, you're a little bit more in the light from the darkness. You turn on a couple lights, you're more in the light. You turn on all the lights, you're in the light. It's the same thing. One's not better than the other. We're here to just experience all of it. That's the whole point. And this can tie into so many different teachings, like the idea that Earth is a school and we're here to learn. Sure, yeah, we're here to learn, but we're learning. That can also be defined as we're here to have experiences and grow our consciousness through our experiences. So it's this continuous evolution. And also, could you imagine being a singular God? Like, it's the whole story of Adam and Eve, and that like God took part of himself, herself, themselves to create a second. And the stories can go in so many cultures: Taoism, Hinduism, Buddhism. You can see this. At least I can see this. I am a meaning-making being. But so if you can imagine being this one God, what would you want? Well, you probably wouldn't want to be alone. You'd want to be connected. And therefore you separate yourself into two so that you can experience yourself, so that you can love yourself. And like, what another beautiful poetic experience that like love is the point, love is the answer. And it ripples and is replicated in our experience of man and woman, or woman and woman, man and man, they, them, the partnership that we experience in this life. Because is exactly that. It is this illusion that we're separate. And it's like this desire to pair off. It's this desire to come back together. And we can even take it a step further of like, really ask yourself, what are you seeking in life? What do you really want? And I bet you if you really dig deep, the answer is wholeness. You want to feel whole. You want to feel complete. What if we came into this life to experience separateness, to be part of a whole, and that we know deep in our beings that we are one, and therefore we spend most of this life longing for this unknown, this unexplainable experience where we can go back to oneness. And it's like the idea when people talk about a near-death experience where they maybe died for a moment and then they experience going into the light, and how this love, it was the most incredible feeling that they had ever experienced. They finally felt whole and connected to everything, and how magical that was. And that also, they see all of their loved ones there waiting for them. This experience that we are all there together in one. And I hope that doesn't discourage you. The point isn't that something's wrong with you in this moment, or that you're missing it, or you can never be whole. The point is that you are already whole. You are already everything. You have already accomplished everything that's ever been accomplished on this planet and others. You are already one with everything. You already have all the love of the entire universe inside of you. And all you have to do is just have fun, experience, or not have fun, whatever your experience is meant to be here on earth, or whatever you want it to be. And how wonderful and freeing is that? And that when we come into this life, we choose to forget. That is kind of this earth school, this experience of separateness that we decided when we came onto earth, is to experience that separateness and to forget that we are God, to forget that we are all God, and to see what happens. And Richard Rudd said this one thing that I really loved, and if you don't know him, he's fabulous. He's the channeler of the Gene Keys, which is another platform and experience and chart creation like astrology and human design. And I listened to his podcast, and in one of them, he said something along the lines of how one of the point of life is that to have desires and to go towards them, to let them guide us, to have dreams and things that we want to accomplish, dreams, not necessarily accomplish, but to have these magical, fantastical, fun things that we desire and we want to move towards. And to work towards those. It's not about actually accomplishing them or not. It's about having this path and walking it and experiencing what it's like to be on this path. And before we're born, we decide what we want those desires to be. And so the point is to have dreams, right? And then he said this wonderful metaphor about when we're actually asleep, dreams, relating it to that of we can't have these wonderful dreams unless we go to sleep. And that just stuck with me so deeply about this life. We can't try to have experiences to raise our consciousness unless we go to sleep, unless we forget, unless we experience the illusion of separateness. And that's all it is just an illusion. And so I'd love to leave you with a couple contemplations and questions of, what would that mean for you in your reality if separateness was an illusion? And if you were everything? You already had everything, you've already done everything, you already are everything. And also, my favorite is, what would it mean for you in your reality if you are God? If you're the one in control of all of this, the one making all of these choices, we are experiencing a quantum experience, manifestation, the law of attraction. We are magical, powerful beings as humans. We are God. We can do anything. We can be anything. We can create anything. We can decide anything. And the point of these contemplations and questions is to inspire you. You can take it however you want, but to remind you that every moment of our life is a choice, and every choice we make creates our reality. And I mean that so literally and also so magically at the same time. And maybe you're already aware of these concepts, but the idea that Our thoughts are energy. Our whole reality is energy. Everything around us is made up of atoms. You can learn this in grade school science. Everything's made up of vibrating atoms. And that vibration, that frequency, energy is a frequency. Everything, it's like you can think of all the atoms that create everything, including the ether, including this space, emptiness in front of me. Atoms create it all. And you can think of energy as the atoms. And our thoughts control the frequency that those atoms vibrate, because our thoughts are energy. It's just like how a sound wave can move through the ether, or a light wave. These things that even though we can't see them with our eyes, we know that they're still happening. And our thoughts can move through the ether, and they can literally attract things towards us, and they can literally shift the frequency of the atoms that are vibrating around us and ripple out, okay? So therefore, my thoughts can literally change my physical reality around me. So if I believe that I'm an incredible, abundant, wonderful family, whatever I want, if I believe it, if I like embody that belief that I am that thing, I will literally create that. And the same for the opposite is true. If I believe I can't have anything, I never do anything right, all these things happen to me, I'm creating that reality, okay? So it's like really what's your beliefs? And that can be baby steps. We can just slowly change our beliefs by using affirmations and being like, I'm going to decide what I want to believe. And then you decide it, and then you slowly use it as an affirmation until it really feels like a belief. And you can even track this in science, in the neural pathways of the mind, how literally you can have one thought that could be, I am sad, and that can create a highway or a road through your brain that gets bigger and bigger. Or you can create, I am beautiful and perfect and loved and happy, and then the I am sad pathway will start to get smaller, and the I am happy will start to get bigger. You can be sad, you can be happy, there's no right or wrong. Again, it's all about experiences. But I'm just here to remind you that you are God, and you can do anything. I love you all. Thank you very much for watching. Drop me comments, whatever you want, like, subscribe, or don't. Challenge my beliefs, anything you want. I really appreciate you watching, and have a wonderful day.